Somebody called the coroner, bro. That nigga's dead. Like, we said this was gonna happen.
Gary's his own man. What did he do at the weigh-in?
Future Hall of Famer, man. Shout out, Cowboy.
He sent Max Holloway to join Robert Whittaker, Dusty Poirier, and Kobe Covington in the number one contender club forever.
Damn.
We've been on that rock star regimen, knowing that I'm heaven sent, higher than I ever been. I got a problem with.
What's going on? And welcome to Totally Blitzed Podcast, the Fight Club. And today we're talking UFC 276, one of the deepest cards on paper, one of the best cards to watch. Very fucking electrifying. And shout out to our host real quick before we start anything. I just want to start off with a round of applause for everybody with our picks this time. Shout out to that boy Kev coming in first place, 9 out of 10.
Damn.
90%, one no contest with Suga Sean, and was Sean Strickland winning away from having literally a perfect UFC card.
Right, and the bullshit is, I didn't like this man Sean Strickland until I seen that he was talking shit to Izzy. I didn't even give a fuck about who the motherfucker was, and I was like, oh, you can talk to Izzy like that? After you see what happened to Derek Brunson, after you see what happened to Paulo Costa, must be dangerous. Nah, nigga just stupid.
The boy got caught slipping.
But I'm still a fan. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still a fan of his though. He did make me a fan though. Next time we fight, I'm probably still gonna root for him.
But yeah,
that boy funny, bro. I'm gonna definitely be rooting for that, man.
I ain't gonna lie. Stupid but funny. I think he dumb as hell, but he funny. He funny.
That shit had me laughing in the press conference.
And he be telling me. But yeah, 9 for 10. That's not bad.
And then I came in second with a 7-10, one no con. Everyone has a no contest because Sean Strickland's fight. I'm not sorry, Sugar Sean's fight. And then Mark is right behind me, 6 out of 10. But Kev really 9 out of 10 is insane. To literally pick 90% of the card.
I would have came up on some money.
Yeah, to spend every fight or even parlay a whole bunch of them together. But
that's how I be getting my picks right. I don't be betting no money, so like. There's no logic or sense that goes into it. It's straight up. I watched this guy fight. So I think this guy could beat his ass. Like straight up. There's no. This man's camp was this long. He changed trainers. He did this. Not. I see his style and I see his style, and I like this.
You know your shit, man.
Street fighter enthusiast.
Nah. But everyone had winning picks. We all fucking. That was a great fight card, start to finish. Fucking. The girls opening. Did y'all watch the very first fight? Like she, homegirl got put into an arm bar and literally snapped her arm. And like, I was like, oh, everyone was like, oh my God. Like within the first minute.
I didn't see it live, but I turned it on. I went on Twitter, bro, and fucking seen that shit and how she got her on the ground. I was like, oh shit, that's how they coming out.
What was I doing? I was making t-shirts. So I had to go to an event that day. But motherfucking, I was making t-shirts and then Paul texted, yo, what the fuck? And I look up and then I literally look up and I see this bitch's arm just.
That shit mean.
Like literally, there's a 315 degree press in my hand right now. Like I'm doing some really hot shit right now. I look up and oh my God. And I almost burnt my shit.
That was the way to start it off. We didn't even pick that fight, but shit, 42 seconds all it took to get that fight done.
That's crazy. And I wasn't the only one that was like that.
No. And there was honestly only 2. I didn't realize there were only 2 women fights on this card, the opening 2 fights. We saw Jessica Ai's last fight. I think y'all got to see why. I said she should have been gone a long time ago. Macy Barber, unanimous decision.
I respect it. I just think Macy Barber is really, really good. I don't know about Jessica Ai's. Can't like if you didn't give me that the breakdown of her for the preview, I wouldn't have known that going in. But like Macy, what I did learn is that Macy Barber might actually be the future. Her nickname might not be some bullshit. How do you feel about that fight, Mark?
I hope you didn't even get to watch that one, man.
Macy's ass. She's 24, but I will say this division is interesting because she's 24 and there's another fighter younger than her who's like 21, Casey O'Neill. And
she's only 24?
Barber is, yeah. And Casey O'Neal's like 21, I believe, or just turned 22. And she grew like another person who grew up since like the age of 4 in a gym. And like she has a black belt in this and is a high standing kickboxer. And so like there's these two super talented girls in the same division that might both be fighting for the belt.
Man, that's crazy. Those some young cats. What the heck?
And like this is that women's division is low key getting a little more stacked by the years, man. I remember it was just a Nunez thing. Now you got Pena, you got
there's hella talent coming in on the women's side in UFC.
Dong.
You got hella talent now. Like I'm just saying.
Hella talent, great fights.
But we gonna start getting these women's fights headlining. I'm just saying these fights be fucking good.
There's one coming up soon.
Oh yeah, 277.
Oh, Nunez and Pena.
Yep. The rematch.
That's gonna be. Hey, bro, low-key, if you watch The Ultimate Fighter, I thought I was tripping. You've never seen them talk to each other. Like, I really thought I was tripping, but even they don't fuck with each other even a little bit. And like, it's so smooth that like you can't tell because when Charles Sonnen was a coach with a Brazilian dude, you could tell these niggas didn't like each other. Conor McGregor, Uriah, like Conor was always starting shit. Even with the season with Kamaru, when they had the coaches, the Black Zillions coach and the Americans top team, they always came at each other. But this is the first time I've seen, because it's gonna have that tension. You're gonna have that tension because you guys got to fight each other at the end of the season. But they have never spoken. The only time they talk is at the weigh-ins, and when it was time to decide who's gonna fight in the semifinals and the finals and shit, like they didn't agree on nothing. They low-key didn't even speak like words to each other. Like that's a rivalry, that's a beef I can't wait to fucking cover. But moral of the story, the women's division is a problem. It's must-see TV.
For sure, man.
Young talent, proven talent, and some vets in there. This next fight on the prelims is kind of like similar thing. We got an OG vet, Uriah Hall, Andre Muniz. It happened a lot of like I thought it was gonna go. We all picked. Mark had Hall in this one, but Muniz just took him down literally every time every moment he could get, made it effortless, switching from the double leg to the single leg, taking the back, just controlling him, and 10-minute control time, unanimous decision.
Damn, 10 minutes.
Hey, my dog. At the end of the second round, Uriah was looking kind of decent. I ain't gonna lie, he looked kind of decent at the end of the second. I'll give him that.
When he got off, whenever he reversed Muniz went from the back to try to go to the arm bar, and then Hall slipped out. That was a nice little slip out to take the top.
But my thing about it was his gas tank. I don't feel like it was all the way. Maybe I'm tripping, but his gas tank wasn't all the way there to me. I feel like he was tired as fuck after the first. And like, bro, you was getting rolled the whole time. Like, I understand that's a lot of weight and everything like that, but y'all not heavyweights. Like, what's up with the gas tank? Gas tanks.
What's up with the gas? Man, hit that road work.
No, I said gas tanks can win 3-round fights too now.
He's still the same fighter that walked through on the Ultimate Fighter, in my opinion. He still has the heavy hands, but he doesn't let him go. Like his corner, the whole fight was yelling at him, like, you have to swing on him. You have to come out, like, get this motherfucker out of here. Literally, his words, like, we have to get this motherfucker out of here. Yes. And he'll just come in and just do the same slow and not even throw a lot. Like, and that's what Uriah Hall, that's why you say the most frustrating about Uriah Hall is he just doesn't throw a lot when he has that power in his hand, especially when he's down. It's like, all right, this is all or nothing round. And he still does the same thing that he did in the first round.
He picked that volume up.
And he fought, what was the name of the other fighter again?
Muniz, Andre Muniz.
Okay, so, there's 2 Muniz. That's funny. But what do you think about him? Because like I was watching him, I thought he has a very nice wrestling, very nice skill set. And what division are they?
They're middleweights. He's making his way up.
Ooh, that's a tough division. But I think all the divisions are tough. That's a really tough one. But how do you feel about bro?
Oh, he's solid. I believe he's undefeated in the UFC. I'm about to double check. I know he had, undefeated in UFC. He had a submission of the year in 2021. So like his ground game is insane. The way he can go from the back to the arm bar, no one else really does that, and he's really good at it. So I think he can go far, and he's just another one of those like he's Damian Maya. If you know the name, remember him? Like he holds a lot of records for submissions in I believe the middleweight, welterweight divisions, and his ground game's elite, and he'll just take you there like a Bryce Mitchell, like a Colby, but unlike them, Bryce Mitchell has a good submission game, but like he's just a great Brazilian grappler, and I think he's gonna go far because there's not many like if he takes Izzy to the ground. Izzy's good on the ground. Like he gotten better on takedown defenses, but like you're going up against a elite BJJ artist. It takes one takedown. It's for them to, you see it happen all the time.
BJJ.
Then on to the next fight. Get out the early prelims. We have the normal prelims. This fight was one of my favorite ones just to watch because Homeboy's a wild man. Duplessis got the unanimous decision over Brad Tavares, and Duplessis was just fucking throwing everything at 150%, like full power.
Fucking raw.
And he was having fun too. And like he got a little tired out, and that honestly helped him because once he got tired out, he couldn't throw all the shots he wanted to throw. He had to be more calculated.
Yeah, he got a little smarter when he got tired.
That's one way to do it.
South African put it on. Then we finally had going in the next one. We had the Conor McGregor 2.0. Everyone wants to keep calling him, but Ian Gary's his own man. What did he do at the weigh-ins?
That boy did some crazy shit. Hey man, that boy's a GOAT for that. I hope he does that shit every single time. I forgot about that.
He gets the unanimous decision against Gabe Green. Gabe Green, a great fighter, and that was a nice little brawl, but Gary was just a better stand. Like it was.
Hey man, Gary got some fucking hands, bro. That boy was throwing some shots, and I was like, damn. You could tell he was like a boxer, the way he was able to just pick his shots in and out, move on, like using his footwork. He looked raw, man. I like him. He might be like my favorite prospect right now.
I like Ian Gary. I'm a big Patty fan. I think Ian Gary might have better. Stand up is very, very nice.
Oh yeah, once Patty can get his stand up right, Patty's gonna be a problem. But Ian Gary, I would agree. I think he's a more rounded. His judo was full. Did y'all see that one takedown he got? He flipped Homeboy right.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Perfect judo slam.
Nah, but when it comes to prospects though, ain't nobody fucking with my dog Bryce Mitchell.
No, I love Bryce, especially in that division. I think he is somebody who can really we're just waiting for him he hasn't fought in a little while since the Kobe fight. So waiting for him to get another fight.
I was looking at this shit the other day. I was like, but nobody from that card's fought. Like nobody from that card is doing anything.
They're all chilling right now.
They're all chilling.
Like, I'm expecting them boys to do something in Abu Dhabi. Like, what the fucking boys got going on?
Let's see. Then, but Ian Gary's straight. I mean, he's still putting on. He made this fight look a little, I want to say effortless, but he showed that he was the better prospect. Like a 30-27 across the board. And every round, he could pick you. There's certain moments where he picked you apart in the stand up. I think it was a good showcase. Yeah, give it to him, Mark. But from prospects to vets, we have Jim Miller versus Donald Cerrone, Cowboy, and Jim Miller won. Shout him out. He got the guillotine choke in the second round, and but I think the bigger story here is shout out to Cowboy. Thank you for the hell of the ride, my man. You've been in so many wars. You got all the bonuses for a reason, my man. Like, congratulations on the career, and he's calling it.
Future Hall of Famer, man. Shout out Cowboy. He ain't want to tap either, man. But that shit was so locked in, he had no choice. He was trying not to tap.
That's tough. I'm not gonna lie to you. I missed this one. Because I was like, bro, I'm tired. of hearing this motherfucker's name. Retire and go. But
turned it off on his ass.
I chased it.
I had to take a shower.
That boy said, fuck it. I'm out of here.
I've been waiting too long for this fight.
Shit, and I knew it was gonna finish. I knew this fight wasn't gonna last. I knew these are some old farts at this point. Jim Miller now made it, I think, 4 wins in a row. Cowboys made it like 5 losses in a row. It's about time he hung him up. He's gonna go be a movie star now. He's on the new TV show or movie with on Amazon Prime. So that boy's gonna be a Hall of Famer and a movie star.
That's actually pretty fun. Some Dwayne The Rock Johnson shit.
Yeah, he's doing it with a guy from Guardians of the Galaxy, Christopher Pratt. Like they're co-starring in the show or something. So it got some money behind this. I was like, okay.
Nice. I would have wore a shirt. With the show on it. Like, hey, go watch this after the fight.
But then our next fight here, and this was a second quickest fight of the night by only a couple seconds. We had Jalen Turner, the Triantula right here. This is my first loss on the card. This is when things start getting shaky. This is when Kev started leading the pack. Jalen Turner gets the 45-second guillotine choke over Riddell. Not gonna say it made it look easy, but like when that shit happened, it was like, damn, that was fast.
That shit looked kind of easy, man. What the fuck? Like, what was it? Like a minute into the fight?
45 seconds.
Sheesh.
Nah, this shit is funny because I remember at the preview, I was in like, I don't know, this Jalen Turner motherfucker looks like an absolute problem in every sense of the form. Like, y'all sure y'all trusted Brad Riddell? And like, I didn't even know Brad Riddell was CKB because I'm CKB for life. But motherfucking over Jalen Turner just looked like an absolute problem to me. And I just can't wait to see him continue his career. What do you think is his next move? Because like, bro, is an issue. He just did that probably on one of the grandest stages of the year.
Jalen Turner's, I mean, he's in lightweight, very deep, but his biggest, to me, like I said, he's the Fundora of the UFC right now because there's no one that should be like 6'4" and fighting in the lightweight division.
He's one of a unicorn.
Yeah, like he's so big and long, like he's 6'3", 155, and Riddell's 5'7", 155, and like Charles is like 5'9". And like these are not the biggest dudes. So like I said, like he reminds me of the Izzy of this division. He just happens to be really good. He has a BJJ. I don't know what color belt, but I know he practiced BJJ, goes hard at BJJ. But when it comes to striking, he loves to stay from the outside, and he can always stay from the outside because he's so fucking long and fast. So he has the sky's the limit. He's fucking stomped through the competition up to this point. This was a huge step up in competition. Only reason why I picked Riddell was because I knew he had Volkanovski and Izzy behind him for this fight card, and that boy is a brawler. So I just thought, okay, this is gonna be a dirty fight for a big step up for Turner. Turner saw this step up and shitted on it. So once you do that to the step up, it's like, okay, this guy, fucking throw him in with the wolves now.
Yeah, I thought that was his first top 10 appointment, or was Riddell not top 10?
Riddell's ranked, I believe he's top 15. Lightweights, I can tell you right now where he ranked. Because this was his first ranked opponent for Turner. Yeah, Riddell's 14th. But his only loss was to Rafael Fasiv, who is another just fucking absolute killer.
Beast.
Absolute killer. Some highlights, like insane off this chain, who actually fights RDA this next card we're talking.
Yeesh.
On to our next fight. We're on to the main events here. We had this one, Suga Sean OMalley versus Pedro Munoz. I went to a no contest. The eye poke. What are the thoughts on the fight? How was it going? I think the eye poke is really split, so like I'm not gonna really say what I thought happened on it because homeboy does have paperwork from the doctor saying something. There are angles that those like people are all mad.
What the fuck did the doctor say?
It was a cut cornea on his left or not left and right, whatever eye. He posted it today, because after all the
people was caught on his ass.
Yeah, so he posts today. There's a cut cornea. A lot of people, some fighters coming out, they don't believe he was hurt, faked it, get out of there. Other people are like, hey, bro, like, so I've been poked in the eye very lightly in the middle, not lightly, but in the middle of a fight that don't look as bad. And trust me, it fucking hurts. So, like, everyone, there's a lot of people split.
Nah, bro, getting poked in the eye is probably like one of the worst things. Like, that's why Draymond so like gets like it's so considered dirty, because he does that shit. He's done that shit a few times. But like getting poked in the eye, because imagine like how important your eyes are in a fight, and getting poked in the eye, that shit hurts like a bitch. Like, and it's gonna sting, and you're gonna see white for a second. Like, it shit sucks. I personally would have attempted to do like this damage after the eye poke, but like at the end of the day, if bro can't see, you can't see. And I feel like when it comes to the get him out of there situation, it's either like he was gonna get out of there, or he was gonna get out of there, or motherfucking Sean was gonna get him up out of there. So like, regardless, I just think it just needs to run it back. Them boys worked on each other. They thought about each other for 12 weeks. Like, they wanted to fight, and then the fight ended in the way they wanted it. Run it back. And if somebody doesn't want to run it back, you might know, they might hear something.
Damn.
We'll put the apple out on him.
Yeah, that shit threw me off for a second.
Well, what are your thoughts on the fight outside the eye poke? Because round one was all leg kicks from one side, and he was hitting them like a good amount of them, like 90% of them were landing. And Sean O'Malley, and it's like he was keeping his distance, and Sean O'Malley was kind of trying to figure him out, but Pedro didn't really. Only time he came forward was to kick the leg and then back right back out. So it wasn't really too much to really judge.
All right, not too much to really look at. Man, it's kind of a disappointment how it ended, but I feel like they should run it back. Might have to.
What's up, Kev?
So with this fight, there were two fouls technically, because there was the nut shot that I haven't seen the replay, but there was a nut shot and there was the eye poke, and that's what ruled it a no contest. I was scared he would have got disqualified, truthfully. That's what I was really worried about, because I was thinking like, damn, they're gonna DQ his ass for that shit. But it was unintentional, like motherfucker. But the Sean O'Malley interview Sean O'Malley got interviewed hours after the next day by the Pivot, and it just dropped. And he explained that yes, he was getting kicked in the legs, but he was checking those leg kicks. That's why he kept backing up, because he was in pain. He couldn't just like continue to move forward on those leg kicks. Every time he had kicked it, he had checked them. But Sean did say that he got kicked a few times, but like it just looked like he was just slowly breaking them down. And in the third round, he would have got him up out of there. I don't think he would have got him up out of there in the second. But I feel like it could be a great fight. They both know each other. I don't think Munoz is gonna want to fight Bro again, but it could have been a great fight. I thought it was funny when he did the spin shit, Sean. When he just did the little spin shit, like
oh yeah, hey man, he heard the podcast. He was gonna lay it on him.
No, and I mean, even if they don't run it back here, there are plenty of people calling out Sean O'Malley right now who like. Peter Young called him out. He called him like a pink doodle head or some shit. It was like he'll show him what real boxing is. And then like Henry Cejudo, whenever he was doing the post-fight interview, Henry Cejudo was like, "Hey, I heard you've been looking for an opponent. How much you weigh? I'll fight you." And then Cejudo's always trying to throw his name in with anybody right now. Like, hey, bro, don't forget about me. I'll bust a lot of y'all. So he has a lot of people who are potential opponents. I just want to see who's next. Like, because if it's not Munoz, I honestly will say I don't have the division in front of me, but that division is deep with wrestlers and like Jack Shore, Nurmagomedov, Sterling. That Sterling's too high, but I'm just saying there's deep of ground game. I just want to, and Munoz was like the best for him to showcase his skills. So outside of Munoz, I think it's gonna be like a step up fight. Like if whoever else he's fighting that's ranked, it's gonna be like, all right, this is Suga Sean versus some real deal like killers now.
That'd be interesting to see.
I think it's all business at the end of the day. From what I hear, Suga Sean is really like in deep. He tries to get on the calls with the brands and stuff like that with the UFC. He doesn't have a manager because a manager in the UFC doesn't make much sense to him because Dana's the one that's handling all the shit. Dana's telling the manager shit and the manager's relaying the information. But in some cases, he gets 20% just for that. So, motherfucking, it's smooth. And I think it's a business all about. Now people are saying that like, okay, he's a hot commodity now. He brands himself well. He knows how to. It's going to be a money fight, and if you headline it, you get the pay-per-view shares.
No, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to get that contract. Dana give it to him just so I could finally see him in the ring. Like this is similar with other you get a point where you see prospects that's mauling through people, and you're like, all right, I want to start putting him into the ring with other people. And that's where I'm with Sean O'Malley. So like, get him the contract, get him whatever money he wants, because it's like I'm not gonna be happy if another year goes by and he's still in the middle of every card fighting nobodies for another whole year.
Yeah, and he brands himself so well. Like bro's out there with the pink Lambo.
Oh, there's the pink Lambo. Shit, but then let's roll on into the next for this main card of fucking what we thought fight of the night. Robbie Lawler versus Brian Barberena. Them boys was bumping. Them boys was banging.
Boys was throwing.
Kev said it best. Robbie Lawler does not give you a boring fight and shit. I'm saying Brian Barberena, I think same thing. Sign me up for any Barberena fight at this point, bro, because he enjoys going into a fucking war. He likes getting wobbled a little bit before he gets.
That boy got a chin. He has a fucking chin, bro. There was moments where I was like, oh yeah, he's done. I was like, Robbie's beating the fuck out this man. I think it was his jab. I think he had a southpaw jab. I think Robbie Lawler. He came out like a southpaw, bro, and he had the stiffest jab and just
was a rocket.
Bro, just pushing this man's head back. I was like, oh, bro, this dude is getting fucked up. But low-key, he was eating them whole time. He wasn't even really like getting fade. Like, obviously it was hurting, but overall, he was eating them shits, and it only took like, I think it was the elbows. Dude started coming in with the elbows.
Barberena, bro, them elbows, that's the thing, watch a bam.
Nah, bro, that shit was crazy. And then you seen Robbie, you could tell he was shook. I was like, don't tell me it's one of those. Turned out to be one of those.
Oh, one of those.
Well, yeah, man, because there was moments I thought other dude was about to get rocked. That was crazy.
It was dangerous, man. I like Lawler. I like the way Lawler just didn't give up. Like, I feel like if the ref didn't stop it, he would have still kept trying to fight.
Oh, like, yeah, you could tell.
He didn't give up. He was sliding. He kept coming forward. Real Korean zombie-esque. But, like, Brian Barberena is a problem. I think he just needs to continue going up in this division because, like, he is an issue. Great fighter. He's a great sell. I fuck with bro. I can't remember this fight for some reason. I think because that's when I got stupid high. But like, I just remember watching Robbie just like thinking like, damn, Robbie's not bad for being as old as he was, but Brian Barberena was just coming with it whenever he had a chance.
Lawler's ass fucking would do some body like he was the more technical, I felt like, because he was hitting from angles on like the body.
He looked nice.
Punching the body and it coming over and like it was like
or coming in like with a double jab and come with the straight left. I was like, okay, dude is really throwing them shit.
Like I said, Barberena is a little younger. His body's not as taxed in wars that we're Lawler in. He could eat more shots, at least at the end of the day, because after those couple elbows in that second round, that's when that boy Lawler is this.
He looked drunk.
He had that
instantly.
Mr. Krabs meme, like.
Yeah, Jay looked drunk when he got hit with those shits, bro.
And that Lawler's thinking, he's like, bro, I am 40 years old. Like,
yeah,
and what am I doing right here? But he's a warrior. Boy will be back because he definitely looked good.
Yeah, he did.
Another fight, another KO back to back. This right here, this back to back, this little 3-line fight right here was electric. Sean Strickland, Piera. That boy Strickland did not use his wrestling.
That boy went out sad as fuck.
We said at the dope. We said at the dope. Yo, if he goes in there and mixes it up with bruh, and he keeps bro on his toes the entire time. Shows off that you're an above average wrestler and do it. But no, I should have kept watching the press conference before I made my pick. Because he said he's not worried about no kickboxing as motherfucker. He ready to motherfucking throw, he ready to go in there and show what his hands are about. And he learned. You don't stand up fight with a motherfucker who only stands up fights. Like, why? What do you gain out of that?
People with it.
He kills people.
He just whacked your shit. And I remember just watching that fight thinking like, we said this was gonna happen. Somebody called the coroner, bro. That nigga's dead. Like we said this was gonna happen.
Sean Strickland's pride is his worst enemy sometimes, bro.
That boy went outside, man.
I will give it to him. Hey, I'm not gonna lie to him. Did make me a fan though. I will be watching this shit next time.
Yeah, and dude's definitely a funny dude.
And he better do a press conference. Maybe he has to do a press conference in the Apex, like just by himself, nobody, just him and Dana.
Yep. And I mean, I won't say he looked bad for the first 2 minutes, but it was weird. Did anyone feel like his stance was weird? He was just walking forward with his hands like real close, and it's like kind of trying to grab shit and then like punch off the grab, and like. And at that moment, I was like, "Oh, this man has no thought process of taking him down. Like he's trying some weird Mr. Miyagi shit right now." And then
he thought he was doing something.
And that's funny as fuck.
Yeah, but yeah, Pierre showed it. I mean, you can't complain now if he gets a title shot. He just beat the number 4 guy in the division and first round KO.
Made it title shot's coming.
Made it look easy. You seen the TikTok?
Oh, that TikTok, right? MMA TikTok is only getting better. That is like the one with like the cowboy bebop music, kind of. Oh yeah, right. I'll send it. If you haven't seen it, Mark, I'll send it to you, bro.
But hey, man, the fight is on the way now. That was the number 1 contendership. Feria is gonna be taking on Adesanya very soon. Hopefully,
that'll be a fun build up.
So it's gonna be a great. I like that. I like them. They still got time too. That could be like a December or January fight. So I like them. I can't wait for that one. So shout out Alex Porfirio for winning that shit, kicking the fuck out of Sean Strickland's stupid ass. Somebody had to do it, and it was him.
And he shit made it look easy. But now let's get into our main events of the night. Both main events. That's how.
Both of them.
Alexander Volkanovski with the flawless victory over Max Holloway. And I'm sad to say y'all was right. I don't have a shoe to take a shoe out of. I ain't a dirty motherfucker. So I will take a shot though. I will take a shot. I wasn't even thinking about it until just now, so I will take a shot over that loss.
I don't think I would want to see you even do a shoey.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna get him to do a shoey.
I would do it out of like a new shoe or something, but like I have a pair of new shoes, but why would I ruin my pair of new shoes?
Because you didn't believe in bald.
Not for fucking Max, man. Not for Max.
Sorry, boys.
Because you didn't believe in bald Volky. I was like, it was the blasphemy from your face. Damn, that was a strong shot. It was a blasphemy from your face when we both picked Alexander the Great, and the way you looked at us like we were stupid. I was like,
I'd walk off too.
I was like,
man, that pound for pound talk different.
I understand what you meant, but I understand where you were coming from. But we forgot bald Volky. The way Volkanovski can mix up his disciplines and be able to kick you, punch you, and take you down all within 4 seconds is fucking incredible. Like, just straight up, like the way he's able to just keep everything pushing and keep everything going. Like, he's probably like, I think one of my favorite, like, genuine, like, fighters. Like, if I were to ever like want to be a fighter, it would be a mix of 80% Volkanovski, bald Volkanovski. Like, he's just that talented.
Low-key, I think bald Volky has moved up to he might be my favorite right now, bro. After watching 2 of his fights, bro, I just love his fight style, bro. It should look like magic in the fucking ring, bro.
199 significant strikes. He didn't even. He's scared.
And you're talking that shit while beating his ass.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I don't do damage. How's
How's
that eye looking, bitch?
How does that squirting blood, bro? That shit was terrible.
Like an operating table, bro. And but 199 significant strikes, and I really like. I haven't seen someone really do shit like this. Like Max Holloway, as we know, isn't someone who shoots takedowns, bro. He made Max Holloway shoot 3 takedowns. Of course, they didn't work. But like to make someone who is a striker basically give up striking, like beat their ass in their discipline, like to like now have to do something where they know they're not better than you in, where they know like you're the better wrestler, but they're still gonna shoot on you. World class.
Nah, Volky is different, man. That was a legendary performance right there.
Hey man, CKB for life, man. That boy, the way he mixes it up with the two, if he goes to CKB, they get the work in, then he goes back to Australia, gets the work in. It's like Volky is just that dude, and I love Matt Hitman Holloway. Like that's the Hitman. Like he's really good. He's just stuck in number 2 contender on hell. Like he's just stuck there. Like it's tough. Number 1 contender hell. Like you're significantly better than everybody else, but just can't be that number 1 dude. Like he's just a fucking problem. And if we do see a Holloway and Volky 4, like it's gonna be way down the line. Like that shit is just bad for business right now. So like motherfucking, it's gonna be interesting. Who do you think would be his next opponent?
I think he's honestly getting out of the division. I think Volkanovski is, unless the 2 potential fights I think for Volkanovski is he goes up and I think this fight's still very potential. The belt's vacated still. He could fight for the belt like straight up against somebody else undisputed, or he fights Dustin Poirier for like a tune-up fight since he is like the number 1 guy there, or Justin Gaethje or something. Or Sterling, who called him out, might move up and they just run like champ versus champ, double belt on the line type shit. And so I think Sterling versus him, or him versus him versus Charles Oliveira, I think it's the fights to make right now, because he's done with that division. Like he sent Max Holloway to join Robert Whittaker, Dustin Poirier, and Colby Covington in the number 1 contender club forever.
Damn.
Max's best move right now is if Volkanovski leaves the division, and then he can reign on top again.
Yeah, once Volky leaves the great, he's gonna go conquer another weight class.
But yeah, I think we're gonna start seeing, like I said, we have nothing. We're going into this dominant champs reign, and all these dominant champs might be the only people left in their division, and they might start looking across the way.
That boy Volky's hitting his prime.
That boy Kamaru said he'd be down to fight Izzy.
Kamaru said he's going up to light heavyweight. He's skipping middleweight altogether. He was talking about fighting. He said he knows he can knock some of them people out. He said there are some dogs up there light heavyweight, but I look at some of them top contenders and I know I can beat them. But if he jumps that 2 divisions and knocks off like Jan, him and Jan saw squaring up face to face, and then Jan even posted a picture of them squared up saying they call him a monster, but I'm the monster slayer. So like that's a fight.
That's dangerous. But who was wasn't there a beef in the stands? There's 2 people beefing.
This Dustin Poirier and Michael Chandler, they've been having the beef where when Michael Chandler first joined, Dustin Poirier was shitting on him for coming from Bellator. And then when Michael Chandler got on the mic, he called out everybody but Poirier, and he said it was because he doesn't like the guy, he doesn't want to fight him. And then Poirier was like, yeah, he doesn't want to fight him because he's scared. And then now they finally ran into each other.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Gilbert Burns is recording it, which is funny because he's just like average Joe. Like, oh shit, record these motherfuckers. I'm gonna post this to Twitter. But shout out Volkanovski, world class. On to our main event. And another unanimous decision, one-side affair. Israel Adesanya retains the belt, beats Jared Cannonier. But before we talk the fight, let's talk that walkout.
Bruh, so Vince McMahon, Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, from what I seen, was out there in the front row. Somebody came out to Shawn Michaels. I think it was Barber.
Macy Barber came out to Shawn Michaels.
Okay. That's pretty fire. I wish I had missed that. I was too busy not giving a fuck. But that was by far the greatest outro, a walkout I've ever seen, because like it was so simple, so classic, so iconic, so basic. You can't beat that. Like, and this is coming from Israel, the nigga that be dancing and TikToking and shit like that. So him to just come out, it's no Vince McMahon was right there. Brand, you know he's getting a contract after this. We will see him doing something at WrestleMania one day. Motherfucking, that shit was gangster, man. The hat was nice. The fact that Jared Cannonier, he had Jared Cannonier on the what do you call that thingy?
The urn.
The urn, and coming out to the Undertaker's classic iconic music. That was really the greatest thing. That was really the greatest intro I've ever seen. And like I took up a lot of time talking about it. But how did y'all feel? Like, did you guys get like chills? Did you get the nostalgia? Because I didn't hear the doom. I didn't hear that part, but I heard it.
Hey man, I wasn't expecting that shit at all, but I felt like I was watching WrestleMania for a second.
That nigga said doom.
That shit was tough, bro. For real.
Very tough. And then the little things about it, like you said, the urn, the smoke screen projector, that shit was hard. And then when he took the helmet off, he actually did the Undertaker iconic, because Undertaker doesn't just take it off. He does it like that or so. She has a special way of taking it off to sell it. And he did it, like he did that shit down to the T. I was like, oh, he really studied that fucking thing. And boy put on a show, like from start to finish. That's what that with that walkout, like he does do those little things like that separates him from other fighters that like don't care about the walkout. They don't care, but like it's a business. So like sometimes those things like that will make you grow, and he fucking knows it, and he's the master of it.
And I feel like that was just some cool shit, man. That was some genuinely cool shit, and that boy just understands how to catch a crowd, and the numbers make up for it, speak for it. I don't know how true these are estimations. I don't do numbers. I don't pocket watch, but they say he made $2 million just off of this fight before the pay-per-view buys. So like off of his contract and everything, all that good stuff. I don't know exactly how it works, but like it just shows that he's the biggest draw in UFC.
But how do y'all feel about the fight, though? So we all know it was one-sided, but how do y'all feel about the fight?
Everyone's on his ass talking about he boring. That shit's crazy.
I don't think he's boring. Well, it's really hard for me to call a fight boring, because I understand they're always setting something up and they're always doing something.
No, I mean, I don't like saying boring, but I do agree, because like I didn't think he was gonna knock him out just because I know Izzy's fight style, and it's very calculated. He's smart. He's not gonna lose fights because he's the smartest person in that ring. He's
the champ.
He's not gonna overshoot on something. He's not gonna overextend on a shot. Like, he's gonna be calculated. And if he's ever in trouble, which is rarely, like we haven't seen it in a while, but he was like in his career, when he ever got in trouble, he went to like fight, picking you off from a distance, counter punching, and like sometimes if the other guy don't throw anything, you can't counter punch. And you see that happen in boxing a lot, where like two people are just kind of waiting to pick their shots, and can't blame either one of them. I won't say he's boring, but like whenever you're saying you're gonna start knocking these motherfuckers out and stuff like that, I mean, Volkanovski was like, he picked Max Holloway apart, but you would say he did it in a different fashion. Like he
did it in more of a dominant fashion.
Yeah, he initiated stuff. And then that's where I think people start saying, oh, well, look at how he, even though he coasted to a win, he didn't just stand in the back in the pocket. Volkanovski, like someone else is like, he's more of an initiator. So I think that's where the draw comes out, or the knock comes at Adesanya, because he'll sells like a big show, and then you're watching like a 25-minute low-key masterpiece kickbox performance, because he's just picking the dude apart. But it kind of gets boring whenever it starts happening like over and over and over again.
Yeah, that Gastelum fight didn't last. Like that's what I didn't understand how long ago that was until because like when I started getting to the UFC when we started talking about making this podcast, it was Israel Adesanya. Like I was watching all his shit and I was like, wow, bro, it's nice. Like I watched the Gastelum fight, then I watched the Whitaker, and I seen he became champion against Whitaker. I seen he beat Paulo Acosta, and then he lost to and then I heard that he lost to Jan, and motherfucking the next, but like I see that he just fought Robert Whitaker, and the next week I find out that he's fighting Robert Whitaker too. So like, I don't understand how long a gap that was between those things. So like to find out about the Romero fight and then this and then it's just like, okay, I understand. You guys remembered him as this young prospect beating Anderson Silva, beating knocking out. I think he knocked out Derek Brunson. Motherfucking beating Anderson. So. Knocked out Robert Whitaker, went to hell to beat Kevin Gastelum for the interim. Like we remember that stuff, but like now that he's grown as a fighter, he's evolved. He understands that he doesn't have to be the aggressor. He doesn't have to always be the initiator. He knows that he's playing a chess game, and he doesn't really give a fuck about how people feel.
It's a lot on the line.
Mm-hmm. So like you can't get mad at him or not. It's just like when it comes to that pound for pound list. Niggas might try just because of that.
And well, we'll see because I think if the Pierre fight happens, we'll finally get to see like someone who is elite stand up like that with him, and we'll actually might be able to see an actual war from Izzy in a while, and then that might feel, that might quiet off the haters for a while because he is world class, and that's sometimes your biggest drawback is you're so good at what you do. It's hard to make it look exciting whenever, like, remember the Floyd fights? That's what I consider almost like a Floyd where he gets the decisions a lot now. But
he makes it look too
simple. It's
too skillful,
boring. But it's like, hey, it was a masterclass performance.
Yeah, the person fighting him doesn't feel like it was boring. The person fighting was annoyed, upset, he felt like he couldn't get his shots off together. He was always playing defense, even when he tried to be on offense. Like, to be in that ring with that motherfucker, you're learning that like, oh, he's really like putting in work the entire time. But I think Jared Cannonier fought well. He has a nice chin because the goal was for him to go down. The goal is for him to go down. He said, "Fuck that," and I think he's just a great prospect. Not prospect. He's a great contender. Probably see him fight against another strong contender like maybe a Vittori or a motherfucker, another puncher. Maybe Sean Strickland. Like you never know. So like I'd love to see him continue to grow in his thing. Maybe he goes back up to 205 and takes on their champions and tries to run that division because like this division might be unlocked for a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, also before we head out, that's what happened throughout UFC 276. But also a little Izzy news. John Jones, I don't know if y'all saw that. They've been going back and forth. John Jones came at him like, I guess Izzy in the post interview he made a Frozen reference whenever he was talking about his opponent or whatever, and then he tweeted out like Alex Pierre is not going to be something basically along the lines of Alex Pierre is not going to be afraid of somebody with paint and nails making Frozen references. And then Israel Adesanya then shot back in I think like the post conference interview whenever he's in the back and everything, and then someone told him about what John Jones said, and he was basically like, "Oh, fuck that guy." I don't know. He says maybe probably about steroids or something. I don't know, but they've just been kind of popping shots back and forth now.
Ever since I seen that Valentine's Day shit, I was like, "Oh, this man Izzy, and this is like real beef at this point."
That'd be interesting if they ever fought.
I think I feel like the longer it takes for the fight, the more likely the bigger chance Izzy has to really like put them lights up.
I don't know if he's putting John Jones lights out.
He not put his lights out, but like the older, I don't know, because John Jones is just a natural gifted freak.
I know what you're saying though, like the more, because he's still young. John Jones is only getting older, so the more time that passes, the more likely Izzy got it.
And the way, and if Izzy can build into a bigger body, like he doesn't need to like just go up, like because They said that the man ate ice cream before the weigh.
He's just a naturally skinny guy.
Yeah.
Also, I just don't think Izzy. I mean, he can move up slowly because he's gonna have to do something soon. And but John Jones now at heavyweight, like I think it's gonna be a while because I can't see John Jones going back down. So like, because he just spent what 2-3 years to make that to get to this point where he's at now to fight in heavyweight. So like, unless Izzy moves up to heavyweight, I don't think he's ever gonna do. I think this is just like tickling our ball sack, bro. There ain't nothing really gonna happen. It's just,
that's just foolery, man.
Maybe they might see each other in the streets.
Hey, John Jones do a couple lines, a couple beers. He'd fight anyone in the streets. Girlfriend
John
as well.
Jones needs to get the fuck back.
He needs to get back in the octagon. Facts.
That boy fights like
Francis kind of stood up for Izzy because Francis and John Jones potential fights always about to happen. So he said, while John Jones has been away, Izzy has defended the belt 5 times. Like and that's all. He's like left it at that. I was like, oh, like just put his little 2 cents in on it. So like they're stirring up the pot for that fight if he comes back. We're still waiting on that, but John Jones is a hot commodity.
We'll see, man. We'll see if it can ever get back. He's out there. He was coaching somebody not so long ago. I want to say his dude lost, but like he was coaching.
Yeah, no, he was. No, he was this dude. I can't. But the dude he was coaching was like massive because he made John Jones look like a puny kid. But that's been UFC 276, and once again, shout out to Kev and follow our picks because Kev fucking almost a perfect pick. Like I can't even give you the odds if you would have parlayed your 9 correct picks together. You would have probably been able to bet $5 for like a couple bands, right? Like
that would have been crazy.
Yeah, so follow the picks. All of us went above, like Marcus 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. Those are winning numbers right there. So stay tuned. We got fucking RDA versus Rafael Fassi coming up this week, and any boxing that matters. So this has been Totally Blitz with your host Paul Pick'em Win'em Concha, Kev Waterboy Savoy, Marcus PT Panley.
You did.
And if you didn't know, now you know, motherfuckers.
Problem with being problematic. Get the light beam on me ready for electrostatic. Don't you step into this box if you're not bad.